Here is another lesson in the New Testament is Fake series. This is June 1, 2019. This is lesson number 197. My lesson is titled Herodian Diet of Worms. I want to read from the book of Acts to show what I consider to be another stack of impossibilities in terms of the New Testament miracles. So from Acts chapter 12, verse 1 to 4. Now about that time Herod the king stretched forth his hands to vex certain of the church, and he killed James the brother of John with the sword. And because he saw it pleased the Jews, he proceeded further to take Peter also. Then were the days of unleavened bread. And when he had apprehended him, he put him in prison and delivered him to 4 quaternions of soldiers to keep him, intending after Easter to bring him forth to the people. Now I'll read verse 11 and then 19 to 23. And when Peter was come to himself, he said, Now I know of a surety that the Lord hath sent his angel and hath delivered me out of the hand of Herod, and from all the expectation of the people of the Jews. Verse 19 to 23. And when Herod had sought for him and found him not, he examined the keepers and commanded that they should be put to death. And he went down from Judea to Caesarea, and there abode. And Herod was highly displeased with them of Tyre and Sidon, but they came with one accord to him, and having made Blastus the king's chamberlain their friend, desired peace, because their country was nourished by the king's country. And upon a set day Herod, arrayed in royal apparel, sat upon his throne and made an oration unto them. And the people gave a shout, saying, It is the voice of a God, and not of a man. And immediately the angel of the Lord smote him, because he gave not God the glory, and he was eaten of worms, and gave up the ghost. It is so easy to read of the many miracles in the New Testament. Of course, we know the Old Testament has some miracles, but the New Testament claims its own fame for a massive amount of miracles, mostly by Jesus, who apparently healed, from what John was saying, so many people and did so many miracles that the world could not contain all the books that would be written if they were to write everything that he did. But he went on to say, Jesus, that greater miracles than what I've done you will do. So when you think of greater, we've always discussed this when we were younger in the Christian church, but the idea is that greater means more in terms of volume or the amount of miracles that his followers would do, but also greater means more in terms of its impact, its magnificence, its power, its grabbing attention. So that he was really saying, what you, my followers, will do would be so powerfully great and magnificent that all that I have done miraculously will be paled out in comparison, so that no one would be singing the praises of Jesus for his many miracles, mighty miracles, but they would be more focused on relaying the information about the miracles that his followers did. And since what God does is not going to die if he's coming with miracles and salvation and so on, then we should not expect the absence of miracles today. But we don't see these miracles happening. A lot of faith healers have come and gone, and some are still here, and they've been found out to be fake. And certainly though, the Hebrew Israelites who say they are the children of Israel and that Jesus with his Hebrew name came to them, we find that they are not the ones known for miracles today, even if they are fake miracles, but it's the Christians. So there seems to be no miraculous fervor going on in Hebrew Israelite camps or churches. Not even to the point of faking it. Now, I'm sure there are testimonies of miracles here and there in the Hebrew Israelite movements, because I've certainly heard them. But just a trickle, just a drop here and there. Nothing really voluminous and nothing spectacular in terms of, the might of the miracle, the strength of it, and the broadcasting of it. So that Jesus supposedly came to save the Hebrews, and his supposed prophecy cannot be fulfilled because the Israelites are not doing greater works than he did. So we're not finding that. Yet you tell me that the strength of his Calvary message can continue. But what stops the strength of his miracles from continuing through the Israelites? But as we saw here in the story, Herod was eaten by worms. An angel came and smote him, and worms ate his body. The same worms they tell you will be eating your flesh in hell, going through your skin. But in this other lesson in the New Testament is fake series, the Herodian diet of worms, it is so easy for us to read of another miraculous adventure in the scriptures where an angel is coming, again in the New Testament rather, an angel is coming and causing this King Herod to be eaten in his body by worms. That's a powerful miracle. Like, you're just not going to deny that. An angel showing up in the presence of all these people and striking the man, and a lot of worms coming just out of nowhere and just eating him up in front of everybody. And it even got written. It is so easy for spectacular, mind-boggling miracles like this to just happen, poof, just like that. But you cannot find these mind-boggling miracles happening today in the presence of anyone calling on Jesus, whether they are Hebrew Israelite or Christian. You can't find it. But if we stick to the Israelites, why didn't the worms eat up the slave masters on the slave ships that you complain about? When you were on the plantations, why didn't the worms come and eat up the people that were flogging us, chopping off our feet and so on, and whatever other punishments they're doing, flogging us, doing all this kind of stuff? The miracles can so easily happen, but we cannot find these magical worms today coming. No matter what happens to the Israelites, they're getting ready, like I've said before, to go into FEMA camps. They say they're getting ready to go into all kinds of doom. Some are saying they're going to take you to China to be further slaves to China for your debt, and the slaves are going to be the ones becoming the fresh new slaves again to China to settle American debt and so on. So all these things can be happening, getting worse and worse and worse. But these worms cannot show up, or any other spectacular miracle cannot show up from Jesus with all the New Testament power that he brought. That would put all the miracles of the people in the Old Testament to shame. Because you would think with the kind of miracles that would happen with people from New Testament power, if it were to happen today, Moses lifting a rod and splitting the Red Sea would be spectacular, yeah, but it would be so pale in comparison to millions of Hebrew Israelites today in 2019 working all kinds of fancy miracles that would make no person in North America, in any of the Americas, or in any place on earth doubt or question that there is a God. When you've got millions of Israelites all over the world and down in the Caribbean, over in the UK where they're setting up camps and every place else that they are, when you get these millions of Israelites doing all these miracles that are greater than all the miracles that Jesus ever did, who could deny? Who could deny? Who could deny that Jesus is real and that we should all accept Calvary? Yet many people deny that he is real. People say he's not real and they have their reasons that they call proofs that he was not really, never existed and so on. More people are pulling away from Calvary, both in Israelite movements as well as in the Christian world. People are leaving the churches by droves. So a lot of people are leaving, and all these miracles that happened supposedly in the New Testament cannot happen by any single Israelite. No Israelite is prepared to do miracles by angels today. If a bomb should start dropping and war breaks out, if the water should all get contaminated in a greater way all over the place, or oceans and so on. No Israelite can do that. But if you're in the Bible, a man can be eaten miraculously by worms in front of everybody, and it proves the power of Jesus. But you cannot prove that power of your Hebrew Savior Jesus today.